Environmental officials from Montgomery will be in Oxford next month to hear what the public has to say about a proposed limestone quarry on the Calhoun-Cleburne County border.
A night of sub-freezing temperatures across East Alabama, and then a warming trend continues. We will have the complete forecast details coming up.
Coming up in sports, we've got all the basketball scores from last night. Also, we have you up to date on everything wrestling right here in East Alabama. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
The Alabama Department of Environmental Management is extending the public comment period for permits to open the Limestone Quarry, and it will also hold a public hearing on Tuesday, January 23rd at 6 p.m. at the Oxford Civic Center to hear the concerns of the people living near the quarry. Pillar Materials, LLC of Oxford has been working with ADEM for more than 2 years to receive 2 permits required to operate the quarry. The department announced in November that the equipment and operations proposed by the company should be able to meet state and federal pollution control requirements. The permits received preliminary approval subject to a public comment period that ended just before Thanksgiving. However, many of the landowners near the site said they didn't hear anything about the quarry until just a few days before the deadline, and they asked ADEM to let them have a public hearing on the permits.
ADEM officials say the purpose of this public hearing will be for interested parties to make oral and written comments into the public record. Those wishing to make oral comments at the public hearing are also encouraged to submit those comments in writing. In order to effect final decisions, comments must offer technically substantial information that is applicable to the proposed applications. Copies of the complete project file are available for public inspection Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the ADEM main office in Montgomery. They can also be found on ADEM's document management system online called eFile. Attendance at the public hearing is not necessary to have the comments included in the public hearing record, and written comments must be received no later than 5 p.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, to be considered by the state regulators.
When we return, we'll show you some unique Christmas decorations at an Oxford business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Lots of area businesses are lighting up Christmas trees this holiday season, but only one is decking out an 18-wheeler complete with Santa, reindeer, and a nativity scene. B.R. Williams Trucking in Oxford began 65 years ago with a truck just like the one that now sits in front of its building on US 21 South. Several years ago, the company began decorating the truck for the holiday season, and this week they officially lit the truck at a party thrown for their workers with the surrounding community. Whitney Mattia, a grandchild of B.R. Williams, says this ceremony is a very special part of the Christmas season.
It's a replica truck of one that we started the actual business with my grandfather had, and I think it just shows how we as a B.R. Williams family want to give back to our employees, to give them an event to help kick off the holiday season, wish them well through that, and just celebrate ultimately the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Brad Brown, another of Williams' grandchildren, says he looks forward to this truck lighting ceremony all year long.
I love this event. I think it's a great way to kick off the holiday season and Christmas. I love that, from now through Christmas, Mary Mack's going to be lit up for everybody who passes by on the highway, and right in front of it is going to be a nativity scene. just to remind people the reason for the season. It is all about Jesus and the birth of Jesus. So I love that. I also love that this truck is a replica of what our grandfather drove, because obviously he died in '65. So it's kind of neat to see a truck and feel a little bit of a connection to him since he died 23 years before I was born. So I never got to know him, but seeing the truck out here for me personally is a really cool thing too.
Greg Brown, Chairman and CEO of B.R. Williams Trucking, says the truck lighting event has grown bigger each year as more features have been added to the display.
Something that we want to give back to the community. We take so much out of the community with services on an annual basis and those type of things. It's our way of giving back, and we're so focused on this area in Oxford and all that kind of thing. So it being lit up during the holidays brings a lot of attention, and we hope it brings a smile to a lot of kids' faces.
When we come back, Anniston takes its place in the Christmas spotlight.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Noble Street was all lit up Tuesday night for the annual Downtown Anniston Christmas Parade. More than 100 entries took part in the 1-mile march from 17th Street to 8th Street, attracting big crowds to line the sidewalks from beginning to end. Marching bands, floats, scout troops, beauty queens, and local politicians were just some of the groups represented along the way. Anniston Public Relations Director Jackson Hodges was the MC for the parade, and he said this was Anniston's largest parade in recent memory. The viewing grandstand was set up on the west side of Noble Street's intersection with 12th Street, just across from the old federal courthouse. That marble structure, built in 1906, is now being renovated to house the new Anniston City Hall, which is due to open sometime late next year.
And I learned at the Christmas parade last night, it's that weather that when you first go out, it doesn't seem that cold.
No, that's true.
You stand around in it for about an hour, it is cold.
It certainly is. And in the daytime, it warms up kind of nicely.
Yeah, but at night, no.
No, early morning and later in the evening, it is not pleasant.
I wonder how much longer it's going to be like that. Is it going to get colder, warmer?
Well, I don't know, but I know someone who does. John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Mike and Katie, it's colder and then it's warmer, and then we'll have some wet weather thrown in as well by the weekend. We'll have the complete forecast for all of East Alabama next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Despite total sunshine today across East Alabama, temperatures staying below normal today after that reinforcing shot of colder air came in overnight last night. Only 53 for the high today. Our morning low at 42. Record high temperatures 78, record low at 21. Sun rising tomorrow at 6:34. And again, for the third or fourth consecutive day, the sun setting this afternoon at 4:35. Weather on your street on a Wednesday night. It is going to be clear and cold tonight. Everyone below freezing, 29 for the average overnight low tonight, including on Federal Way out at McClellan. Going to be cold tonight. A cold evening. This should be our last sub-freezing temperature for quite some time, though. Looking at tomorrow, going to take you out to Pecanwood Drive in the Golden Springs area of Anniston. Sunny and warmer tomorrow. Temperatures should be about 7 or 8 degrees warmer. It will be noticeable tomorrow. Again, a day with total sunshine and the high topping out at about 60 degrees in Golden Springs. And as we look to the start of the weekend, Nice December weather coming up. Looks like our nicest day weather-wise of the next several days coming up will be on Friday. Plenty of sunshine, no rain in the forecast. Temperatures will be up into the mid-60s by Friday afternoon. So if you're out in Ohatchee on the Creek Bank, Big Oak Road out there, it is going to be a splendid day, about as good as you can ask for in early December here in East Alabama. 7-day forecast. We do have rainfall coming. Going to take a while for it to get here. A couple of nice days coming up. I think most of the day on Saturday is going to be A-OK. There's a 40% chance of showers. That is going to be at mid to late afternoon. So if you've got Christmas shopping to do, you got errands to run, maybe even some yard work to do that in the morning and early afternoon, and you should be fine. It's going to be very warm, 67 for the high. That'll be our warmest day of the next several days coming up after a morning low of only 49. Now, the fly in the ointment, so to speak, is Saturday night. Saturday night, a 90% chance of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms in the forecast. It's going to be very warm. You see that low only 53. We'll be in the 60s for most of the evening hours, but we will have some much needed beneficial rainfall coming in Saturday night and in the overnight hours as well. Going to push the rain deeper into the day on Sunday, so it may be Sunday afternoon before the rain is completely out of here. A 70% chance of showers again. Most of that will be in the morning hours, so it may be wet as you head out to church and Sunday school on Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, temperatures are cooling off back into the 50s for highs. We might touch 60 on a backyard thermometer coming up on Sunday afternoon. And then some more seasonable weather, feeling more like Christmas time. Highs in the 50s, lows getting back down around freezing again by Monday and Tuesday of next week. Speaking of Christmas time, people are already looking ahead, less than 3 weeks away from Christmas. So we're looking at what might the temperatures hold as we get closer to Christmas. This will take us into just a few days before Christmas. You notice right here, December 14th through the 20th. And it looks like up in the north, it's going to be way above average. But right here, we're looking at near normal temperatures across East Alabama. And that's going to mean temperatures basically 50s for highs, 30s for lows. That's what we're looking at in the extended forecast coming up in the next couple of weeks. Join me right back here tomorrow morning, sharp at 6 a.m. I'll have the complete breakfast forecast for all of East Alabama. And I'll be back here tomorrow evening for EAN Local News with a complete look at the weather forecast as we look ahead to the weekend. More wrestling, more basketball coming up. Namath Pitts has it covered for you in sports.
Thanks, John. Last night was the first of many this season in basketball. Antonio Kite returned to Anniston, fresh off winning an SEC championship at Alabama. There's rematches from games that were played earlier this season, and area play began for some teams. I have the full recap from last night, starting with Anniston. Fort Payne hit 2 3-pointers in the first half, leaving one to wonder if first-year Wildcats coach Robbie Coker had turned over a new leaf. But then the Wildcats hit 5 3-pointers in the third quarter. Fort Payne broke out to a 31-21 lead in the third and bagged its second victory over Anniston this season. The Wildcats are under their first year under Plainview former coach Robbie Coker, who had won 4 state titles before changing jobs. Anniston lost 41-30 at Fort Payne 8 days ago, but got off to a 7-0 start yesterday. After falling behind by 10 in the third quarter, Anniston rallied within 2, but would eventually fall. Delroy Francis led Anniston with 10 points, and Devin Coleman added 7. Fort Payne went on to hit 7 threes in the second half, and Josh Scott led 3 Wildcats in double figures with 13 points. He hit 4 threes in the second half as Fort Payne boys beat Anniston 42-36. Suffering elimination in the area tournament did not set well with Anniston girls last season, and their start to this season signals a return back to normal. Tykeria Smith scored a game-high 22 points, and the Anniston Bulldogs girls down visiting Fort Payne for the second time this season yesterday, winning 49-30. With its latest victory, Anniston hit double-digit wins in the first week of December. The Anniston Bulldogs are now 10-0. After opening their season less than 24 hours earlier, Spring Garden coach Levi Hatcher could not complain too much about yesterday's 63-34 win at Jacksonville Christian. Although the Panthers did not play as cleanly as he would have liked, they're 2-0 and showing signs of improvement. Spring Garden pulled away early against JCA, which was a Class 1A Area 12 opponent. John Welsh finished with 29 points to pace Spring Garden, but Jake Welsh played an important role with his 18 points, which helped open the outside game. He had 12 of his points after halftime. For Jacksonville Christian, they moved to 3-6. Noah Lee had 18 points and 12 rebounds, and Bryson Dowdy added 12 points. Spring Garden's girls are headed to Tennessee this weekend to play somebody they don't know after beating Jacksonville Christian 78-10 to win a Class 1A Area 12 road game. Spring Garden got a quick opening basket from Alabama commit Ace Austin, who added 2 more with a couple of steals in the backcourt. Chloe Rule added a basket while Libby Brown nailed a 3-pointer, and Olivia Law and Maggie Jarrett each made a basket to put the score at 15-0. Ace Austin scored 17 points for the Spring Garden Panthers, who are now 5-0, and all of her points came in the first half. Rule and Law each had 13, while Bryan had 12. All 9 Panthers scored at least 3 points, and for JCA, who is now 5-4, Addie Lee had 5 points. 8 of Piedmont's 9 players in uniform scored as the Bulldogs opened area play yesterday with a 78-26 victory over visiting Welborn. Ishmael Bethel led Piedmont in scoring with 20 points. Bethel netted 16 points in the first half as his team built a 40-19 halftime advantage. Colton Proctor and Dylan Oliver each tallied 11 points for Piedmont, and Jalen Brown added 10 points for the winners. Liam Avery, Ollie Boot, and Jackson Long each recorded 5 points for Welborn. It was a sweep last night for the Piedmont Bulldogs as the girls limited visiting Welborn to single-digit points in each quarter and opened area play with a 62-19 win over Welborn. Ava Pope netted for 3-point baskets and finished with 23 points to lead the Bulldogs, who are now 3-3. Josie Young had 2 triples and totaled 14 points for Piedmont. Senior Anna Odom scored 18 of Welborn's 19 points. She was 12 for 16 at the free throw line. Playing at home yesterday, Weaver's coach Bo Wynn and the Bearcats broke open a 1-point game by outscoring the Tigers 24-14 in the third quarter, and then withstood a fourth quarter rally by Cleburne County to win 60-56. The Bearcats led by 1 at halftime. When the third quarter ended, Weaver was ahead by 11. Cleburne County made it close in the fourth, and Weaver's Caden Gooden led all scorers with 23 points. Keyshawn Allen scored 14 points for the Bearcats. 3 Cleburne County players scored in double digits. Gray Freeman led the Tigers with 19 points. Jacob Cavender had 13 points, and Kate Schubert finished with 11. Weaver's Gabe King and Harper Williams each netted 8 points, and DJ Marbury had 7 points to counter Cleburne County's 3 double-digit efforts. Oxford, Cleburne County, Ohatchee, Sacs, and White Plains Wrestling all hit the mat yesterday for duels. We have the results from last night. Rusty Mayfield and the Oxford Yellow Jackets traveled to Brookwood for a quad that featured Oxford, Brookwood, Pinson Valley, and Shades Valley. Oxford went undefeated, 3-0, sweeping the night. Oxford beat Brookwood 51-21, Pinson Valley 66-24, and Shades Valley 60-24. Jake Mayfield and his Cleburne County Tigers were at home last night hosting a try that consisted of Cleburne County, Ohatchee, and Lincoln. Cleburne County swept the night, beating Ohatchee 78-6 and Lincoln 45-36. Cleburne County moves to 8-0 on the season in duels. And finally, the Sacs Wildcats hosted an in-school duel against the White Plains Wildcats. Coach Todd Manning and the White Plains Wildcats won the duel 60-18. That's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for the update, Namath, and thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on our website, eastalabamanow.com. Just go to our video feed and watch us whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.